All right, good morning, DeisHacks. We're going to get the event started. If everyone wants to make their way over to the projector, we're going to do opening ceremonies and then start the board fellows talks. I'm going to talk for hopefully less than 5 minutes, and then I'll hand it off to the board fellows to introduce their nonprofits challenges, and we'll spend about an hour doing that. After the board fellows are done, we're going to do a team matching activity for maybe half an hour. That'll take us to noon. At noon, Dominic's is delivering lunch. There'll be pizzas and salads and chicken and arancini. And while you guys are getting some food, Beth Marsh-Doyle from Apple, an Apple executive, will give a talk on design thinking your career, creating the career that's best for you that you want. And then we'll come out after that talk and announce the teams. So I'm going to give one more second for everybody to get over here, and then we'll talk through some of the event logic. Definitely grab a coffee or a yogurt or some bagels or muffins if you haven't had a chance. Okay, welcome to DeisHacks. So this is the 15th 24-hour hackathon that my group has been involved with organizing between Codestillation, the Printathon, Makeathon, and it's really been cool to see the hack culture here sort of evolve into something practical and repeatable. So this hackathon is the Social Impact Challenge, where we partner with Professor Gene Miller's board fellows at the Brandeis Business School, and then we source our challenges from the nonprofits that they work with in town. So today we hope that you embrace the challenge nature and get a new skill set or personal growth opportunity where you can use some of your superpowers to work for these nonprofits. So DeisHacks is a little different from a lot of our traditional hackathons, where instead of having abstract challenges, we're working with 15 organizations through the Brandeis Board Fellows so that we can work for solving the challenges that those organizations have. So after I'm done here, those board fellows are going to present the problems and challenges of their companies. They're not starting with solutions, they're starting with challenges that then you guys can hack at in different ways. And one thing I want to reinforce at this event, you don't have to make an app or a website or a piece of software. You don't have to make a physical prototype. You can apply anything broadly designed to your solution. So you could design a space, you could design an event, you could build a pedagogy for a workshop series. You could do a fundraising initiative. So this is not limited to traditional hack methods. This is anything you can get outside the box and put together an innovative solution. I want to introduce some of our team here. So Professor Gene Miller is up front, who runs the class at IBS that's bringing us all these challenges. We have up front running the registration desk is H, who is the head of the Maker Lab. H runs the Maker Lab services. And she'll be giving a talk on web design. If you want to build a website, she can help connect you to some resources. We also have Sheldon here, who's going to be doing event photography and videography. If you didn't sign a photo release, let Sheldon know. Jason will help with some brainstorming. He's one of our student workers with a lot of ideas. Who else? We have Vince, who's a Brandeis alumni, who's been to a ton of hacks. I've seen you pitch like a bunch of hacks. So he can help you build your hack. We also have Daniel Lay here, who is another one of our student workers. Anyone in one of these shirts can help you with technical questions, prototyping, web design, project management, things like that, Maker Lab services. And later in the day, Tim will be coming for the night shift. So one of our staff, Tim, who runs the automation lab, our robot surgeon, will arrive at 9 p.m. fresh and be here through the night. So if you get stuck on a technical solution, there'll be someone here to assist late night. So look for the blue shirts if you have a question, and the darker blue shirts are the hackers. So we have 21 board fellows here from 15 organizations. You can see some of the placards around. And what we're going to do, so these students have been embedded in the boards of these companies for 6 months now. They're about halfway through. And after their pitches, where they describe their companies, we're going to send these placards around the room. And we're going to give you guys half an hour to fill out a scorecard. And so this is what, as soon as these pitches are done, actually I'm going to start handing these out now. So you can fill these out as we're going through. Here, we can just start some here, and I'm going to take a big stack over. So pass these around, fill one out per person. And what we're basically asking you is, did you come here with a team, or are you solo? What kind of skills do you want to contribute to your team? So after all of these groups pitch, sort of fill out this form, take some notes about what your first and second choices are. You'll have half an hour to interview the board fellows if you want to make some final decisions. And then Professor Gene Miller and I will hide in the Maker Lab and make all of the teams based on how you fill out those forms. So we're going to try to match you to your first choice, but also put a second choice just in case. And we're definitely, if you have friends, we're going to make sure that you're on a team with your friends. If you're solo, we're going to make sure you're on a team that has skills you can contribute to. So definitely fill those out for all of the hackers. If you need a restroom, the closest restroom is down these stairs to the back. There's also a bottle fill station down there. We have a lot of water bottles, but we would like it if we could give less than one per person. So if you have a refillable bottle, refill it. If you don't have a refillable bottle and you want to use a plastic bottle, we have the name tags and the Sharpies at the registration desk you could label your bottle with. I would say, if you're going to go to one talk today, I would go to Professor Gene Miller's talk at dinner at 7 o'clock on how to pitch your hack. This is going to help you win this hackathon. So we are expecting 3 to 5 minutes per team. It's going to depend on how many teams we have. We want to give you the most time we can fit in the judging hour. And we want to make this quick, just a couple slides, like 3 slides.
No one has ever won DeisHacks who didn't attend the learning how to do the pitch. So I want to tell you that better come to the 7 o'clock, learn how to do the pitch if you want to win, okay?
The other talk that I'm really excited for is Beth Marsh Doyle's talk about design thinking your career. She's a 35-year Apple executive who's going to be here at noon. So while we're doing the team matching and you guys are getting lunch, it should be a really interesting talk. She's going to provide a brief overview of her career journey and provide insight on how to balance your own goals with a career that excites you every day.
And she would love to network with you.
And she'd love to network with you. So it's going to be a quick talk, like a lightning talk, and then a bunch of Q&A, and then you can consult with her if you have any questions. The talks are listed on the website. So if you go, the talks will be located right here. We're going to come up to the center stage. So our website is updated today. There is an accurate and up-to-date timeline. We will adjust this as we need to. So you can go to DeisHacks.com and get all this information. A link to our Slack is also there. The best way to ask a question or get in contact with the mentor team is to post it in the general Slack channel. Also on the intro handouts, you got contact information for me and Gene. We are the full-time staff members here if you have any trouble. There will also be police officers and the general Brandeis circulation desk staff around, so there's a lot of staff to help you out if you have any questions. Also on your intro packet, there are some connections to local resources if you need to go to Walgreens or you need to get some electronic prototyping components or anything like that. Okay, so before the board fellows start, the last thing I want to discuss is the prizes. So the prize has been announced rather abstractly. We are giving away over $2,000 of value of prizes. Our first prize is a $1,000 value prize, and the way we're doing this, for prizes this year, we want to encourage you to go further and explore more. So for first place, we're going to give you a $1,000 research technology shopping consultation. So this is what our group does for the researchers on campus. We'll book an hour with you, and we'll work with you as if you were a research scientist. And we'll put together a spreadsheet of the things you want to buy, and we'll execute those purchases. So for this, it's not just an Amazon gift certificate. It's sitting down with professional tech specialists to really figure out what you want to get. And that could mean that you just want to get $1,000 of stuff on Amazon. But it's more like trying to target this as something practical and useful for you to go further with what you start today. So first place will be a $1,000 research technology shopping consultation. Second place will be a $500 shopping consultation. And third place will be $250 shopping consultation. That will all be decided by the judges tomorrow. Gene and I are not the judges. The judges are 5 guests. We're going to post up their career profiles so you can learn a little bit about them if you want to pitch to the judges. There will also be $300 of other prizes throughout the event handed out at random times. The biggest one is going to be the hashtag photo contest. So we really want to promote this hashtag DeisHacks. We're not putting a year on it because we want to be able to see this year after year and look back and see the previous events, just like the banner at the opening to campus. So post your pictures with the hashtag, and we're going to look through those on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and choose our favorite for a prize. There will also be raffles throughout the night, so you don't have to stay here overnight. It is recommended that everyone sleep. But if you want to, you can. So the building closes to the public at 10 p.m. and opens again at 9 a.m. You can stay here that whole time, or you can leave at any time, but you can't come back until 9 a.m. The door is a one-way exit until it reopens. That's for safety and liability reasons. There's over 1 million books in the building, so we will also have some professional staff from the circulation desk to guard the books while we're all here. So if anyone has any questions about the hours or has a special concern, come talk to me and we can work through it. But in general, get some sleep. And remember, before you leave at 10 p.m., whatever your project is should be pretty ready to present. You might have time to finish your presentation in the morning or give it some practice, but you're not going to have time to finish building if you come in at 9 a.m. The 9 a.m. to noon hour goes super duper fast, those last 3 hours. So I would, whatever you're planning to present, be done with it. The other thing is, you can't come back here till 9 a.m., but you could meet somewhere else. You could meet in the Shapiro Campus Center with your team before that and get started working on your pitch. So just because we can't let you in first thing in the morning, you could get started earlier. Yeah? Okay, are there any other questions? If you have any questions, you can find any of our staff during the event or post it on our Slack. Oh, yes?
So there are a couple kids that aren't Brandeis students, so if they need to take out laptops or whatever they may need, is there any way we can get around that?
So the circulation desk rents some things. The board fellows could rent them on their IDs for them and share them with the students. We also have the computer lab downstairs they could use, or the PCs in the maker lab, so we have some public computers. We could also, for design projects, we can use, so facilities at your disposal. The maker lab is right here that has over 30 3D printers with computers and design software. There's also the automation lab is right downstairs, our electronics prototyping lab. So if you want to collect some data with a sensor or do a visualization or something. Last year, Leland Home did that embedded system to run their dashboard. We have all the stuff to do that downstairs. And there will be Arduino workshops this afternoon, and Tim will be here at night. There's also the Digital Scholarship Lab on the other side of the building with 8 high-powered computers. If you want to do some 3D scanning or do some advanced design. There's also video editing in the Sims Media Lab downstairs. So in the building, we have all the guts to help you guys build a hack. Any other questions before we hand this over to the board fellows to get started? All right, so I'll let them go. I'm going to start the presentations and hand this over to the first group. The first group presenting is going to be Boston Police Teen Academy. Tristan, take it away.
Sorry. Is there a clicker or do I just say next?
At this point, I'll be your clicker.
Hello guys, thank you guys for joining us, and we're really excited to have you all here for DeisHacks 2020. So I am working with the Boston Teen Police Academy, and basically our mission is to strengthen the relationship between police departments in urban areas nationwide and the youth they serve. And we have a couple people from the Boston Teen Police Academy here today, so if you want to figure out what we're doing, exactly how the program impacts the kids, then please feel free to come over to our table and ask a couple questions, talk to us a bit. So what we do is we try to impact the kids' lives family-wise, school-wise, community-wise, and all around. And we do these with these specific areas of interest, which are we try to help them in confidence, leadership skills, community impact, respect, empathy, decision-making, and technical skills. And a couple ways we do that is with different programs throughout a six-week intensive paramilitary program, which is ETPA. And our project goals this year are nationwide expansion because our executive director is retiring, which is a huge project, and so that's what we're our main focus during DeisHacks. And to do that, we're trying to create a viable business plan, create interactive materials that we can help or that we can use to help transfer whatever we need to transfer to other cities. We're trying to refine our curriculum, create a minimum viable product for the program, and make additions to our last year's DeisHacks, which was Tech Week. And we brought Ian to BTPA for 2 days to teach the kids about 3D printing and drones, which was amazing. A lot of the kids thought it was the best part of the program. And what we're trying to really focus on today is figuring out funding, virtual integration, creating a great employment structure, and there are a couple more challenges that aren't necessarily as important, but we're really trying to work around all these different issues with maybe 1 or 2 different hacks that we could focus on today. And this is just a picture from last year's Dice Hack, which was Tech Week, and so we brought a whole bunch of different drones, or Ian brought a whole bunch of different drones, and people had VR headsets, different TVs and controllers, and people really learned about iterative thinking, iterative design, which is exactly what we're focusing on today, which is really great thing, but we're trying to add on top of that with today's Dice Hacks, All right, thank you.
Excellent, thank you. And next up, we have the Charles River Community Health Group.
Hi, I'm Frida. I'm in the IBS Business School, and I'm the board fellow for Charles River Community Health, which basically is a health service that serves everyone, no matter insurance, income, or background. And this is their mission statement, just to improve the health and well-being in the communities of Alliston, Boston, Brighton, and Waltham, and surrounding areas. And there's 5 main challenges that I would like to address during this DeisHacks, and it's to attract new board members, basically to diversify their board. There's a lot of older people on the board, so we would like to figure out how to attract more young board members. We would also like to figure out how to fix the volunteer program resources, how to make it efficient, even though there might be scarce resources and management might not have time and resources funding that program. And we would also like to figure out the branding in a political environment which is anti-immigration. And we would like to expand services to attract different patients with private insurance, such as implement new services that the health center can offer. And we would also like to receive referrals from on-campus health services. That's pretty much it.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Charles River Museum of Industry and Innovation.
Hi everyone. Okay. I'm Taylor and this is Vicky, and we're both Brandeis board members or board fellows for the Charles River Museum of Industry and Innovation. To give some background on the museum, it's actually located next to Moody Street, kind of like by Margaritas on the river. And their mission is to encourage and inspire innovation through their engaging educational programs and their exhibits, which focus on the Industrial American Revolution, particularly in the Waltham area. And Vicky's going to tell us about our challenges that we face.
There are several challenges. The first one is that most of the revenue is from events like the wedding party, which is not related to their theme and their mission at all. And there are inadequate technology adoption and innovation in their exhibits. Also, there are few visitors every day. And also, there is no good exhibit layout design, so visitors cannot follow a very good routine and direction. And all their equipment are almost static with no very good descriptions or out in paper version. It's very difficult to find the location at all because their parking lots is very difficult. You cannot actually Google with Google Map to find the location. Here are the main challenges in the bottom. Their current struggle is to combine their themes of both the Industrial Revolution and their innovation side. Therefore, it's very important to find a good choice for the visitors who have different preferences to choose what they want when they visit the museum. That's all for the Charles River Museum. Thank you.
What's up, guys? My name is Dale Kudiak, and I'm working with Clippership Foundation. Just a little bit of background on what I've been doing for them over the last couple of months, or I guess 2 semesters more so, is I've been creating sort of mini docu-series around some of the organizations that they fund. Next slide. Yeah, so sort of a little bit of background on Clippership Foundation and what they do is they basically provide aid to a lot of communities in the greater Boston area via grants and sort of different funding for all these organizations, and they fund a ridiculous amount. And the 3 main issues is housing and shelter, foster care and opportunity youth, and so I've been sort of visiting some of these, and the things they do is really, really incredible, so I'm excited to kind of walk you guys through some of the things they do, and then the challenges to tackle are sort of, the main one is sort of broad expansion and also just kind of getting their name out. These are some of the methods that I kind of just have begun to think about in terms of implementing it and different kinds of things that we could help Clippership do in order to move forward. But of course, there's so many different ways to do it just because they work with so many different communities and so many different other organizations. So there's really, really many directions that we could take this in, and we could kind of think of ways to implement it in very different ways. So I'm excited to see what everyone else thinks.
Thank you very much. Next we have Hope Worldwide. Thank you, Peter.
Okay, I'm Peter Gaban, and Susie is my partner. We're working with Hope Worldwide. So Hope Worldwide is it's an international organization, also like based like on the local. But then their mission is to deliver high impact, sustainable projects aimed at helping the poor, sick, and the needy. So what are the projects like? What are the projects they are doing, especially here in Boston? Is that they have Saturday Academy, and here like they train kids have like bigger goals for their lives. These are kids who are from like vulnerable communities, so they train them and teach them like how to be responsible citizens. And then also have English conversation clubs. Here it's most like they target people who are coming from communities that don't speak English, but they encourage them that their English is good and they teach them more. Food pantries, I mean, yeah, they just deliver food like to the poor communities and the homeless people. And then Parents Plus, here it's like they teach parents how to parent their kids like from their programs and train them that. I mean, it's also the same thing with early child development. And then also like Hope World Scouts, this is aimed at kindergarten through 8th graders, like on how like to be volunteers in the community, how also like to impact their communities. And I would like to talk about the current challenges.
So we narrow it down to the 2 parts of their current challenge. The first thing is Hope Worldwide is such a multinational, very big organization, but like people like us, we just don't know about it, and which makes things worse is they don't even have like a digital marketing platform. They don't have Facebook, they don't have Instagram, and their website is so outdated. So we're trying to do something to, create some funnel for the young generation to know about Hope Worldwide and to donate or participate or volunteer in any sort of way. So we can do that. And the second challenge is, as Peter mentioned, in the Saturday Academy, we help the young kids in their like second grade to 5th grade to aware of the science, technology, and be able to build their characters. But their science class, like we volunteer, their science class is just they don't have facilities. It's like very simple project. So we wanted to be able to do something for the kids there to have some interesting project to work on. So that's the second thing that we want to work on. Yeah, that's it.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm the board fellow for Land's Sake. So in short, Land's Sake is a community farm that is based in Weston, which is a very short drive away from Brandeis actually. And I don't know if you can see them very well, but these are actually pictures of Landsake. It's a very beautiful place. So next, please. Right, so Landsake's mission is connecting people to the land to build community and lifelong stewardship, and they do this through a very wide variety of activities that can be very broadly separated into land, education, and social. So they grow food on the farm, as you might expect, and they do a lot of things with this. They sell it at the farm stand. They have what are called community shared agriculture, so that means that people can buy in and come pick their crops to the farm, so it's a nice way to connect. And they also do hunger relief, and there's also a whole forest on the farm, so a lot to do there. Oh, I'm not done yet. There's also a lot of educational programs, both for youth and adults, so workshops, after-school programs, summer camps, and then finally lots of social events, everything from dinners to dances to picnics to yoga. So there's a lot they do now and a lot they can even expand on and improve. So on that note, some very broad challenges is that they have a pretty big lack of infrastructure and resources. So they don't have their own water and electricity. So with that, they don't have a bathroom, fun fact. Unfortunate. They also lack a lot of indoor spaces. So right now, it's basically all of the facilities to maintain the farm and a farm stand that's mostly outdoors. So they're looking to build and improve on this in what's called a capital campaign. And if you aren't familiar with what a capital campaign is, it's basically a big effort to raise a bunch of money, and they're working on it now. So a lot of opportunities in fundraising and ideas for what they can do with this money. And with that, they face a big challenge with this capital campaign and with their current operations in communication. So if you look at their website, for example, there's a lot there. It's kind of confusing. So if you're interested in web design, that is a possibility of where we can go. And there's also a bit of gaps in communication between groups and in knowledge of other operations. So I actually conducted a survey of a lot of the different groups, and there's a clear lack of knowledge of what all of the different things that Landsake does. So, for example, if somebody does education, they might not know that Landsake donates a lot of their food to local organizations. And also, there's just so much untapped potential, a lot of new ideas that we can expand on, improve on, and even streamline. So I hope to talk with you about Landsake, and I hope to see you. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Up next, we have Leland Home.
Thank you. Very kind. Very kind. Great. Okay. I'm Hannah, and this is Ashley, and we're the board fellows for the Leland Home, which is a senior living facility for low to moderate income individuals. If you go in there, it's like just like your grandma's house. It's very antique feeling, which I'll talk a little bit about, but it's kind of in between a problem and a help. So if you want to change. So the strengths and challenges. So one of the challenges, of course, is the out of fashion decor, and a lot of people are looking for these like high, like new modern buildings. But again, that can be a big strength, that it is just like your just like your grandma's house. So they also have a very small marketing budget, and they don't have a lot of funds to give to anything except the bare minimal. It's kind of a small facility. There's many open beds, and the website is very outdated. In the next slide, you'll see a little picture, but it's something that definitely needs work. Oh, if you want to go back, though, I'm not done. So some of the biggest strengths, though, are their staff are some of the most devoted, kind individuals you'll ever meet. They're super caring. All of the residents we did a focus group type campaign kind of where we interviewed everybody, and the number one thing that they loved was the activities director, Candy. So overall, everybody there is just there to help these elderly individuals. And then it's located right next to the senior center. So the senior center provides a lot of outings or perhaps like get-togethers for people who might not live in Leland but are that same age. So that's one of the really best parts. And then there's a lot of space to expand. They're on a beautiful spot. It's just the building itself is small. And then they have a lot of involvement with the Waltham community. You might have heard of one of the Waltham groups actually goes and speaks with the senior citizens once a week. And they also have Bentley that comes in and a lot of the younger high school students as well as elementary schoolers. And then they have help from their parent company, Deaconsis. So Leland is part of Deaconsis, which also has things like Rockridge and other senior living facilities that serve a variety of individuals. And they are very involved with making sure that they're up and running, not necessarily in the best way, but like doing their best, but they are there to help them when they're in trouble. So now Ashley will talk.
So for the possible hackathon ideas, you can have a look at the screenshot of the website. It's probably classy, but a little bit outdated, so we can have some room to work for it. And also because we have a rather small marketing budget, so it would be great if we can have better tagline for branding, and also some ideas for web design. And because the facilities are a little bit outdated, so we can have some satisfaction measurement to improve the current status. And that's all for our presentation.
Next up, we have More Than Words.
Hi everyone, my name is Simran. Good morning. My organization is More Than Words. Our mission statement is that we are a nonprofit social enterprise that empowers youth in the foster care system, court-involved, homeless, or out of school to take charge of their lives by taking charge of a business, which is a lot of things to basically say that we have a model that's been proven to work. So I thought that would be clearer, but it's okay. So 50% of foster youth obtain a diploma by age 18, but foster youth who work for More Than Words, 93% of them were on track in high school, and 49% of all More Than Word graduates ended up pursuing post-secondary education, compared to 27% by age 21. And More Than Words last year was actually also voted as eBay's best small business of the year, which is a pretty cool accomplishment. So some challenges that we are facing is what my personal project has been on is because we do have a lot of homeless youth who are working in the store trying to work on finding them housing in the greater Boston area. It's just not on here, but that's just something that I've been working on. But additionally, support for their current existing online store in their physical locations, having a much stronger marketing initiative of their locations because More Than Words owns 2 physical locations, one in Waltham and one actually in Boston, but not a lot of people know about that, so making sure that people do know about that because cheap books are great. And there's no mobile web support for their in-person career and academic training. So the way that the More Than Words model works is that they bring in youth they work 20-hour work weeks. 15 hours of those are worked in store, but 5 hours a week are spent on personal development. So they'll get SAT training, they'll get career training, resume training, figure out how to present themselves in job interviews, get therapy. And so all of that is done in person. So for example, if a youth is struggling at home, there's no way for them to catch up online or catch up on like a phone app or something like that. So that's something that we can definitely look into. And one of the main reasons that I care about More Than Words, and I think the most important part about it, are the people there, specifically the youth that they help. So last year alone, they helped out 361 youth, and here's just one quote of many that I pulled from the website, where it's really touching to know that they really take a chance on all these people who otherwise wouldn't really have anyone taking a chance on them. I think that's really important. So yeah, thank you.
Next, we have Museum in a Box.
Hi, my name is Tamara. I'm a senior studying economics and psychology. And I have 2 questions for you guys. So raise your hand if you've gone to a museum in the last 3 months. Okay, that's more than expected. Okay, now raise your hand if you can name more than like 6 museums in the greater Boston area. Okay. So a little awkward because more people than I thought raised their hand. But if you go to if you go to the next slide. So I'm working for the museum industry as a whole, and 2 trends that we've seen is that attendance to museums has decreased over the past few years because there's a lot of other things that people can do with their leisure time. And then another issue that we've seen with the museum industry is that the executive directors are scared of taking a chance in technology because it gets outdated so fast, and they also don't have the knowledge of what to do with that technology. So my goal for this hackathon is to provide the EDs with the knowledge and kind of a framework that any ED can implement into any type of museum, no matter the size, and help them use technology in the best way possible to attract more visitors and make the whole experience much more enjoyable and bring innovation into the museum industry. Also, something super fun is that I'm not working for a particular organization. So with this project, we have the potential to do literally whatever we want and impact the whole industry as a whole. So I'm really excited and hope to talk to all of you and some of you join me in my team.
Next, we have opportunities for inclusion.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Gloria, and this is Eja. We are the Board Fellows of Opportunities for Inclusion.
Can you go to the next slide? Okay. It's okay. It was a video.
I sent this morning. I'm going to refresh it just in case.
It's okay. We will show it to people who come to our group. It's going to be a surprise. So Opportunities for Inclusion is a not-for-profit that serves children, teenagers, and adults in Waltham with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families in the community. We basically provide recreational events, and they have programs for our participants. We provide these services to support participants' independence, foster inclusion, promote self-advocacy, and build community. And Gloria will talk about our challenges.
So we brought up with 3 main current challenges to this hackathon. The first one is the student employment opportunities. So we are currently missing large number of students for employment opportunities because we have less training specialists available to train them, as well as the learning resources such as textbook, like training curriculums or training programs to teach them. We also have lack of revenue for drivers, so people wouldn't be able to go to work unless they have guardians to drive them. The second one is we need more group-supported job sites. So the group-supported employment system is what Opportunities for Inclusion do for transitioning people to get jobs after they graduate high school. So we need better partnerships with local restaurants, theater, colleges, cafeteria, or any places that people can get jobs after they graduate. The last but not least, we need better recruiting and developing marketing plans for Day Hub program. So over the years, the participants are consistently dropping because of the understaffing issues and outdated marketing plans to promote our organization.
If you want to help create opportunities for a segment of the population that's often marginalized, come join us.
Next up, we have the Rotary Club Waltham.
How you guys doing? My name is Timothy Lopez. I'm a senior here. Unfortunately, my partner got sick last night, so she's not here, but I'll hold down the fort for today. So Rotary International, specifically the Waltham branch, is what I'm the non-board member for. And what it is, basically, it's an international service organization where we bring together business leaders and professional leaders and provide humanitarian services around the communities around us, especially in Waltham. You go to the next one. All right, so for our current challenges, we put them in 3 categories. So the first one is our growth has stalled. Members are not actively seeking new members, and we're not getting the younger generation involved with Rotary International. There's also a lack of digital presence. The first week that we were working with them, we looked at their Instagrams and their Facebook, and each website is outdated, so hopefully moving forward we can fix those for them. And lastly, like I just said, if there's a lack of digital presence, they're not doing too well with the marketing for the younger generation, which is why Emily and I, my partner, are trying to set up a club so that we can help Brandeis members go into the Rotary International. And before I end, this is the first time I'm doing something like this, but I'm open to any ideas, and if you're looking for a good time, join my team. I could provide it.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have Waltham Boys and Girls Club.
Okay. Hello, welcome to DeisHacks. My name is Izzy, and over the last few months, I've had the immense pleasure of being the board fellow for Waltham Boys and Girls Club. The slogan is Great Futures Start Here. We are a youth development organization based in Waltham that specifically focuses on marginalized or disadvantaged youth. So what we do, we offer various services to the youth ages 7 to 18 years old, licensed childcare, there's a teen program, music studio, we offer various educational activities like tutoring, there's a summer camp, athletics, and we also have a food program where we provide food to everyone that enters the doors, no matter who they are. So I'll just get right to our challenge. Lately, the biggest challenge has been, there's been decreasing attendance rates, and there are multiple possibilities about why this is happening, but at the club, we believe this is happening because of ineffective communication. So what does this mean? Snail mail, emails, various outdated forms of communication are being used, and the people that we're trying to reach are these kids' parents. We want kids to come through the doors so that we can help them and give them a chance to have a better future. And what we think is happening with communication is that most of these parents don't speak English as their first language. At Brandeis, we have a lot of international students, and so this struggle is very relatable. Most people that come through the doors are speaking Spanish, Haitian Creole, or Portuguese. So this is a very complicated challenge, and there are multiple solutions that could probably be made, and I'm really, really excited to work with all of you, and I'm really open to all of your creative ideas, and I'm super excited to see you come to my table. It's right there. Thank you.
Next up, we have the Waltham Chamber of Commerce.
Hi everyone, my name is Carmen, this is Jake. We are the board fellows for the Waltham Chamber of Commerce. So the Chamber is essentially a local nonprofit with a mission to promote economic growth in the Waltham community. They provide resources and information to all types of businesses, ranging from entrepreneurs, large businesses, and nonprofits. And it's important to note that they are membership-based. So one of their primary goals is to provide as much benefits to their members as possible.
Yeah, so just to go into the benefits to members, so the Chamber will post their members' job openings on their own website. They will repost their social medias. They will provide learning seminars such as active shooting and anything that's happening in the times. They will provide advocacy for people searching the service they provide. So example is, one of their members is a car wash company. So if someone calls the chamber and says, where can I get my car washed, they will recommend their member to that person. And lastly, they provide networking opportunities for businesses and individuals, both B2B and B2C.
So right now, the Chamber is facing several challenges. The information aspect of the Chamber is being disrupted by technology because nowadays it's really easy for people to just go online and search for information. They are also membership-based, like I mentioned before, so they constantly have to come up with new ways to keep the existing members engaged while recruiting new members, and maintaining that balance can be really difficult. They're also having some technical challenges with their old websites, which limits their ability to have a strong social media presence online, and also limits their ability to promote their members' businesses. And finally, we are rebranding the chamber as the nexus between the nonprofit and for-profit organizations in Waltham through corporate social responsibility initiatives. So if you're interested in any of these things, please come find us right here at the table. Yeah.
Next up, we have the Watch CDC Nexus project.
Hi everyone, my name is Rachel. So I want to talk to you guys about two trends that are happening in industries all over the world. First is that companies are starting to realize that just doing their job, just making money, is not going to cut it. We live in a world that now needs a lot more resources going towards sustainability and going towards social issues. The second trend I want to talk to you about is that of nonprofits. Nonprofit organizations have insufficient resources. You've just heard like 15 different organizations that have lots of problems. They're all doing amazing work, but they have lack of resources and they have lack of capacity. So the Nexus project, the idea is to build the gap between the for-profit and the nonprofit sectors to create mutual benefit. And this is a trend that's happening around the world. But we are focusing on it specifically in the Waltham community today. So I'm a board fellow for Watch CDC, which is one of the leading nonprofit organizations in Waltham. They've been around for 30 years, and as a board fellow for them, we are working on building a gap between the for-profit and nonprofit communities here in Waltham. So there are lots of challenges that come with this. First of all, the ideologies of the two sectors are very, very different. People operate on different time frames, they measure success differently, and they see the world through very different lenses. So this provides a lot of opportunity to create really meaningful technologies that can build these, bridge these gaps and make sure that both sides are getting the value that they need. So my name's Rachel, I'm sitting right over here, and please come talk to me.
Thank you, Rachel. Next up, we have Nabira's story.
Hi guys, I'm Amber. This is my partner Jason. We work with the Waltham Family School. We just want to play a little clip to kind of give you guys an idea of our organization.
So we do not have audio.
So that defeats the whole purpose of our clip. Basically, this is one of the parent graduates of the organization that we work with, which provides literacy and different programming for both parents and children entering the educational system in Waltham. So we work with the Friends of Waltham Family School, which is like the nonprofit organization helps supporting this literacy program, which is like mostly funded through Waltham Public Schools. So you can go. Here's the mission of both organizations.
So here are several challenges for the Friends of Waltham Family School. Due to the nature of this organization, the nature of the education program, and the sensitivity of the political state, and this has created unique marketing challenges for the organization, as there are few people in the local community has come across this organization, and we want to reach to those untapped audience. And so, but we also want to preserve the privacy of the families and the children in this organization. And also, since it's a relatively small organization, we don't have too many resources and people to develop and execute the marketing strategies to solve these unique marketing problems. And also, there are several other challenges. But the one that we pay a lot of attention to is that they don't have the system to monitor and track the progress of their upcoming strategic projects. So if anyone who has experience in the nonprofit and also want to get to know more about the organization, please come to us. Our table is right here.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have... Is that the last one? Wow, is that all 15? Did we not have anyone, has anyone not presented that expected to present? That's it, those are the 15 nonprofits that we're working with. All right, so now we're going to spend half an hour where you guys can go ask questions to the board fellows and fill out your scorecard. So the board fellows do not need to fill out one of those cards. It's anyone who's not a board fellow about what team they want to work on. And then when you're done with those, bring those up to me and Gene at the